Babami, it keeps getting bigger every single episode. And this is another big one. I must start by saying thank you. We see all the love on previous editions of this podcast, and we're very, very grateful for your engagement. No single engagement goes without appreciation. Positive or negative, bring it on. That's what we're here for. Welcome to Where the Real Conversations Are Had, the A1 Nigeria podcast. I'm your host, Ayo-Akande is my name, A1 Nigeria. And today, my net has caught another big fish. If you know the name Prodigy Awards, back in the, well, before he was saying it was in 1990 something. I know it's not that old, but in the days, this was the award that recognized socialites, kings, and queens that were balling in clubs all over Nigeria. I managed to pull him down to the studio. He's a big, big gun. Tolu Lokpe, Agbola. Thank you. Everybody calls you Tolu Prodigy. Welcome to the One Nigeria podcast.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
All right. I remember that was it Akada now, this school magazine.
Akada magazine.
Yeah, Akada magazine. And a few other, blogs back then, Blogspot and blog sites. We consistently heard about the Prodigy Awards. And I would see you with your stern young look at the time and the very unique,
very slim guy,
yeah,
skinny boy like that.
And I think you used to, have like bald. You used to be bald, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I'm bald now.
No, it's not that you're bald. and the unique plaque, right, with the likes of them, Davido, the big ballers, the big names at the time. Prodigy Awards. What happened with that?
Okay, so once again, thanks for having me. I must commend what you're doing here first before we go into this discussion. I'd say you're living our dream now.
You started it here in this space, by the way. Let me give him his flowers. He started it, right? And then we came as guests. Now it's, nostalgia moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always been in the host seat.
Yeah.
So now being a guest, all right, let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. So Prodigy Awards started 2012. And I was fresh out of Dynamics magazine then. I was producer, Dynamics magazine, Dynamics on TV, the popular Dynamics.
Yeah, I was going to say the popular one. Yeah,
it was the most watched youth program on TV,
like the HipTV,
HipTV,
of that time. Yeah.
Yes, and leaving Dynamics, I just thought like I needed to start something for myself, and everything I did at Dynamics served as experience for me, even though I started before Dynamics, before I got to Dynamics. Dynamics picked me up because of what's inside, like I've worked at Sound City in the communication channel department. And before then, even from school, we've always had these awards. I remember my awards in school, the Rockville Awards and all that. That's the time you're talking about Akada. Akada was always looking for. And then I started my magazine in school while I was in my institution. And magazine became popular. The magazine would travel to Delta then to go cover AY Live. He was still in Delta then. He had this award when he was in school. Dama Awards, I can't forget that. Delta Academy Merit Award. So we traveled around, covered a whole lot of stuff. So I had experience even before I go out. So coming out, it was quite easy for me to, get these jobs. First, Sound City, before Dynamics came to poach me. And leaving Dynamics, I already had wealth of experience in this line. Magazine, awards, and all this stuff. So I decided to start Prodigy Awards then. Prodigy Awards focused on students back then on different campuses. It was like the first intercollegiate awards in Nigeria because we bring first intercollegiate awards tour.
Awards tour. Because I remember it used to be a tour.
Yes,
Yeah.
it used to be a tour. We had the Hondo Ekiti together in a place. We had the Delta Edo. We had the Oyo, Oshun, the Kwara. So we moved around, touched different schools. All the schools in those regions, we bring them together under the same roof. And it was a big success. And that was when the fame came, when the name Prodigy, everybody Prodigy. It was the thing back then for students, different categories on campuses that we cut across the fun categories. We had the academic categories, the social categories, the entrepreneurship categories, and all of that. And we did it 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016 we stopped. Why? A whole lot of people would ask, like, well, this was a brilliant idea and it was really going well. Known for one thing, I like to perfect whatever. I mean, the last awards can never be, the next award can never be as big as, what am I saying? The next one award has to be bigger than the last.
Yeah, has to be bigger.
And I kept going without sponsors. It was self-sponsored. Although at some point, MTN reached out themselves. I didn't even write a proposal. They reached out like, we love what you're doing, we would like to sponsor. That was like the happiest day of my life. I was like, what? MTN.
Back in the day.
Man, that was huge. Because I remember when we released when we did a press release for that, and everybody was like, wow, MTN. And that award was so big. But after then, it wasn't a consistent, it wasn't a retainer. If it was, we supported this year, we're going to support next year, we're going to support a year after that, it would have been something we would be able to keep going. But they stopped. And we were trying to get some other sponsors, but we were getting little sponsors that would not fuel the dream and how big it's gotten. So I had to stop because I was already burning out. So we stopped 2016. I think that was the year we had Scales and some other celebrities. And I went on the ground.
Okay. Before you went underground, what were the experiences that shaped your time with Prodigy Awards? You mentioned Skills. I keep remembering the one Davido I remember very well.
Davido's issue. Hi and Davido used to be very close because when Davido was coming up, he looked up to me as a big brother in the industry. He was somebody who would come to the office. Then I was at Dynamics. He would come to the office. I had one of my interns then, Shegun. Shegun loved Davido to stupor.
What year was this precisely?
I'm talking 2010. 2010. Shegun was the one who introduced Davido to me the first time. Davido came to him. I think Shegun was in Odua University then. He was just always coming to learn, and it wasn't even a real staff actually, but he was always around. He was working, but not a salary staff.
Yeah, contract staff.
Yeah, contracts. Yeah, contract. Did he get paid? Yeah. But this one, it wasn't about the pay. He just wanted to learn. That was why I called him an intern. He was like, you don't know this guy. This guy that just sang this song, blah, blah. Who sabi this guy? You don't sabi him. Say, okay, I invited him. I remember Davido coming into the office for the first time, and I liked him immediately. Because I remember then I would put his video on number one. I put his video on number one for like 13 weeks.
You did on that show?
Yes. Top 5. It was sponsored by Etisalat way back then. And even the CEO of Dynamics will be like, what's up with this guy is not moving. There are other songs now, but bruh, I just like the guy. I said, we will push this boy. So, So we were that close. We would go to club together. When Tunde was having his birthday, Davido was my guest personally.
Wow.
Yeah, he was my guest. And we were cool until we had some issues that I would not want to go into. Yeah, we had some issues. And Davido is a very rude boy. Very, very rude. A lot of people see him outside and be like, he's a nice guy. But I don't think Davido is nice. But, well, everybody for,
so why don't you want to talk about what happened between you and Davido?
Okay, so...
And, because, there's this adage, they say when two friends, there are only two things that can separate two friends. Either money or women.
It was money. It was actually money. It was actually money. He asked me for money to pay someone. And I transferred the money. He was just coming up. Yeah, from a rich family. But, when people expect a lot from you, you get to spend a lot too.
A lot.
So you run out of funds.
Yeah.
And because he was not making his own money yet, then at this time I'm talking about, and that was before the parental support came in.
Oh, okay. So he was still self-pushing himself.
It was what he had.
Even the music.
He had little support, even from home, but not the full support then. But we knew the video.
How much was this song?
Let's not mention. It will be ridiculous right now, because even if he sees this podcast, he go, "What the fuck is this nigga? What the fuck is this nigga? Like, how much is that fucking? Let him go give him 100 million." And then make it public so the whole world, because that's what he loves doing. He likes to do stuff when the whole world is watching. But then, what even got me angry about the whole situation was the fact that twice I was outside Lagos, and he asked me to tell my younger brother to come pick up the money at the Palms and the Key. My younger brother went from mainland to island. You know how tedious that could be. He got there, the video stopped picking his call. He begged me that night, like, no, bros, no vex. Tell him to come tomorrow. My brother went again. Now, if you talk about the video to my brother, it will be like, that's stupid. Do you get? So he did the same thing the second time. And at that point, I had to reach out like, why are you fucking with me? I told you I needed this money. But now, because how you be now, that was why I released it to you.
How much of a celeb was he back then?
This time I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He wasn't a celeb yet.
Yeah.
Because he still got slapped in the club when a party I invited him to.
Wow.
Because the person didn't even know who it was. Although right now, I know Q will look like, that same boy I slapped that day. Is this big Davido right now? You get?
Yeah.
Well, Q was quite big already, and he was a very temperamental person. Davido stepped on his Prada shoe and, do you know how much that cost? Boss.
Wow.
And I was feeling I felt for Davido like, man, you don't know Davido. It's Davido. Right?
So this was like day zero of his career.
He was just coming up. Or he had back when already.
Okay.
But he just started promoting and everything. So not like people knew him back then already. But we picked, because there's something we do at Dynamics. We know how to spot talent.
Yeah.
Like, we never missed. Hi and Tunde Dynamics, that's the CEO.
Yeah.
If you sit down and analyze, just put, okay, this is Olamide, this is Davido, this is Terry the Rap Man, we put all of them and be like, what do you think can blow out of these guys? We would break everything down, we'll analyze, and we'll pick somebody. And we've never missed.
What stars did you highlight at the time while you were still at Dynamics, apart from the video? What stars did you highlight at the time? Were you able to spotlight at the time, or spot? Let me use the word.
Green.
That Green.
Yes, that Green. And this was what we did. once we spot the person, like, okay, this person has a future in the industry, we call it catch them young. You're not popular yet, you're not expensive yet. So we pick you, we use you for stuff. We could go on tour with you, making you more popular.
Yeah.
Say, then you would remember later that, oh, these people were part of my success.
Success story.
So, we might need you anytime you come to we'll put you on the cover page of our magazine.
Yeah.
You would see Olamide there when Olamide was just coming up.
Yeah,
he was just still
yeah.
with ID Kabasa.
Yeah.
I have those pictures.
With the big polo shirts and the Ray-Ban.
So my okay, I don't know if you've seen my picture with him. You'll be like, what? Is this Olamide? Even me, you'll be like, what? That Prodigy. Yeah, so Olamide, that green, we did a lot with that green. Too bad. May his soul continue to rest in peace.
Man.
He was a good guy. And Davido, Whiskey, when Wheezy was just, coming out.
Yeah.
The manager then, Metal Chick, shout out Osage, my girl forever. She was just like her name on X, Metal Chick. She was a Metal Chick. She was strong. A lady amongst men. She was a woman king. But she pushed all the artists she mentored, she managed. She pushed all of them to success. So then, because High and Osage we were close, Osage will reach out for if we're having any event like, I bet you don't forget Wizzy, Wizzy will perform or this or that. All these guys were people who used to beg us for spots at our events.
I'm imagining them watching this right now and say, what?
What the fuck is this guy? Who is he?
Whoa.
But they could go do research, man. We go way back in the industry. And, these days, when we talk about the industry, when we talk about entertainment, we focus too much on the superstars, the Davido'S, the Burna Boys, the Wizkids. People totally forget the people I call the system builders.
Yeah. Who? ID Kabasa?
Those people, like Ceci Hammond, like Obi Asika, all those people who actually, they've been there. They are the old guards. They are still there right now. The only thing is, they understood the grit of the old school, and they are leveraging the tools of the new right now, and they are still in the industry. They are still relevant till today. So when we talk about entertainment, when we talk about the superstars, we shouldn't forget all those people
OGs.
And that was the category I belonged when I was in Lagos.
Yeah, when I remember your last birthday and I sent you a message and said, you are an OG. Many people may not know it, right?
Yeah,
Mommy, I know. Say you.
Humble guy.
Oh, OG. OG, wow, that's great time, and of course, I mean, it's bound to happen. So till date, no redemption of that.
We're going to start a war on Twitter one time, and Ceci Hammond actually reached out, and we're like, no, don't do it.
Wow,
like you never.
Do you want the money back,
man? Do you know how much that money is going to be worth if I put it into business? So if he's going to pay me back, he should pay me back some
interest over the years.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sure that maybe by Providence, one of these days, you guys will meet again.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm sure of that.
And then
I'm sure very soon.
Maybe you will get all your bags.
As a matter of fact, there are some friends in the industry that are already arranging that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the two of you have to meet and all of that. Since I moved back to Lagos and I've been making some moves, getting back into the industry fully and all that. So there's no how we won't meet now, definitely.
It's a small space. Before you moved to Lagos, I mean, between when you went underground, what happened with you underground? Before we come to you, Prodigy, that Ekiti people know, what happened to you underground?
Okay, while I was underground, I was should I say it was a journey to find myself again? Because it was a tough period in my life. Because it was just like, oh, everything you had, you already put into this dream that is not materializing the way.
So you lost money.
I lost a lot of money. Yes, the events were big. I was more like breaking even. Barely breaking even. Let me just put it, because at the end of the day, even if you make the money back, there are people to pay. And so that period, although it wasn't for too long, because I opened my club then in Lagos. Then the club started doing well. I'm talking about from like 2014, 2015, I had that club, 2016. Then I had issues with the club. The person that leased out the space wanted the space back. And I never planned for that.
Wow.
Guys keep blowing money like, no, I get waiting, they bring the money back now, waiting they up, you get. So that time was a period where I'd leave my lounge on the mainland and go to the island to blow like 3 million naira.
Wow.
I'm talking, way back. And because I know before I get back to the lounge, the money they wait for me already. You feel me? No sense. But that stuff really affected me, because if it was a situation where I've saved a whole lot of money, I would like, oh, okay, carry your place now. I'll move to another place and build something else.
Yeah.
Because it was a leased ground that I built on.
You built on.
So I lost
the entire building, the structure.
When the owner was offering 2 million for something that was worth like 28 million then.
Wow.
So I had to sell some of my stuff and this and that. But I could not stay in Lagos because of the lifestyle I was living back then. Like, how would I, people who look at me like, this guy.
The big dog himself.
The big dog, you get. So I had to, that was why I had to leave Lagos. I ran away from Lagos.
To where?
To Akure.
To Akure.
Right? So I got to Akure, and the money I had on me, I opened a lounge in Akure. Became a success. Everybody.
What name was it called then?
Prodigy's Lounge.
Does it still exist now?
No. I'm not there. I will be. That's my name. You use my name, you get sued.
Okay.
So, it was going well. Everything was going well until the landlord of that place. That's why I say, it be like that. They always said all these people to me. But it's like, this guy is making too much money. That started giving me wala. Like, what's up? We tried to settle, but the guy was just adamant. Like, we have to go into some kind of partnership. I don't want to partner with you, nigga. And that's in back and forth. I had to move my stuff. Like, okay, leave. I moved to somewhere else. And the place I moved to, people in Akure would be able to relate. I moved to a hall. I turned the hall
into a lounge. Wow.
That's why people in Akure will be like, there's nothing Prodigy cannot turn to nightlife arena. I turned it to, and the place will be packed. Every Friday, every Wednesdays, they ball. After parties, anything. Because the concepts were there, right? The how-to, I got it.
Yeah.
And that was what most people didn't have then. So I had that leverage, I had that hedge over every other person. So before same thing happened there again, the owner of What's Garden, was like, they want to start using the place for church, blah, blah, blah. Let's see how village people be on this one. I had to move again. I moved 3 times in Akure.
Wow.
Then I moved to another property. Old property.
But at this point, you never really bought any landed property. You didn't.
No, I had landed property, but not
not just
where I could use for
business.
Yeah, do you get? So this place talks. Am I supposed to say this? Okay, the owner was nabbed on his way to Georgia pushing cocaine.
Okay.
So they confiscated the. It was at that point I was like, nah, I ain't doing this anymore.
3 times, that must be a sign.
So I traveled. I didn't even want. I just wanted to cool off. Like, okay, before the call from Ekiti came from Midas.
Okay, so it was a call from Midas that brought you to Ekiti.
Brought me to Ekiti.
Okay.
So when he called, it was like, I heard a lot about you. Like, okay, we've been trying to run our club. It's not working. Or people have been recommending, I've been asking around. They say, yes. Who recommended Prodigy? That's the only person that can revive this place, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, I'm not around, sir. When I come into town, I would let you know. And immediately I got back. I called him like, okay, I'm back. And how do we do this? Say, can you travel to Ayo-Akande? I said, okay. He gave me a date and everything. So I traveled to Ayo-Akande and met with him. He was like, can you start next week? I said, it doesn't work that way, sir. You know, by the way, that's my daddy right there. I love that man to death. So and I asked him for 2 weeks to put things in place. Like, there's still some stuff I need to. So we did a little bit of upgrades, and I started my publicity. And he said one thing to me, Prodigy, if this thing works, I owe you. Okay, no, he put it like this, because he came to, he was not in Ekiti. He traveled back after our meeting.
Yeah.
He said he was going to come back for the opening. Like, so when he got back, he said, today's your opening. I'm going to be at the club. But for every hour after 12, I'll give you a bottle of Ace of Spade. I said, sir, I go to collect your Ace of Spades. The confidence. You're like, you are so confident. I go chop your Ace of Spades, sir. Don't worry. 12 o'clock, he said they should go and give me one Ace of Spades. 1 o'clock, they should go and give me one. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Which meant that people were still there partying. Till then.
I had the party the second day again on Saturday. He told me the same thing. Say, again, because you're doing back to back. Do you think it can work? I said, don't worry. Are you coming to clubs? He came. That was how I collected like another 5 bottles of Ace of Spades the second night. People didn't leave. And that was, he gave me my flowers. Like, okay, you are everything they said and more. Say, okay, let's do business. And that was it. We started running big success.
So how many years did you spend with Midas?
Midas. I came to Midas 2017 and left 2020.
And how would you judge the time you spent at Midas? Successful, non-successful?
It was successful because I made the most money in Ekiti when I was at Midas.
Wow.
I don't think anybody has broken that record till today. Because if anybody wants to talk like, hey, we're balling in our club, I'll take you back. I'll be like, if we're going to be talking about from 2017 to 2020, how much were they selling a bottle of?
Yeah, maybe the night guys will understand and can relate with this conversation. You know, during those years where you just mentioned that Midas was like the place, you know.
It was the place.
But
remember I had issues. Okay, before I left finally in 2020, I left in 2018 first. That was when I opened Club Truth.
Yeah, I remember.
Club Truth became the go-to place for everybody. As small as the place was, it was the place. We shut down every other club. And that was the moment everybody was like, shit, this guy, they use jazz. That doesn't make sense. This thing. We Sabiam, no be say, no be fluke.
Yeah.
Chama Midas, very nice man. He would not want anything to happen to you. Say you're not happy. No, he doesn't like to hear it. So then I left Midas for Truth, you remember? And when I was at Truth was the place for everybody. It became the place for everybody. It wasn't that big, it wasn't that sophisticated. But we tried to do what we could, like upgrades all the time. There's no time you go and come back to my club. You will see one small thing that I've done.
I remember that time you were always remodeling that place. I was
Always.
wondering what's going on.
I know how to keep my customers. You will come back. Yeah, but where is this? Nah, truth now. Be like, I was just there now. How? We've done something again, something new. So we were always remodeling and upgrading. And that, I believe that was one of the, apart from the concepts and the customer service, that was one of the things that kept people coming back to Truth then. And, you know, it was a successful 1 year before
going back to Midas.
Before going back to Midas, when the owner came back, I was like, Prodigy, you need to come back and take your club. Nobody can run it. It's your club. Can't you see we didn't change the name? Club Wash then. Can't you see we didn't change the name and all of that? Then we had this talk, and because he was the one who brought me to Ekiti, I still always give him that respect. Like, and besides that, I find it very hard to say no to that man till forever. They were like, don't worry, everything will be fine this time. And I went back to Midas. That was before the second issue that made me leave. I left after my anniversary. That my anniversary that shut everywhere down. Yeah. So that was that for Midas. And
so where did you go from there? Did you manage any other club?
Yes, I chilled for like a year. Okay, I think COVID came in.
Yeah.
There was COVID. After COVID, I was low key for that period until the former Club 15 reached out like, Prodigy, what can we do about this place? Come on. I don't want to run that place, but he was bringing one offer. Like, okay, you could act as a consultant and we could still act as partners. And I'm not going to interfere with anything, run it the way you want, blah, blah, blah. You know, we had the talk and I thought, okay, since I'm not running any club right now, let me give it a go. And because I love challenges, everybody has said that place can never run.
Yeah.
That, okay, let me try my strength. Maybe I still got it. So we took the deal and I started running the place. And then
it became Club 15.
Then,
because I remember at the time nobody knew that name.
I rebranded to Hive.
To Club Hive, yeah.
And everybody was like, this guy. But it was at Club Hive, I decided I wasn't doing, because in this business, I faced a whole lot of stuff. You know, spiritual stuff. A lot of spiritual stuff.
Was it because you were here, or, I mean, that's what you face, even your stint in Lagos, Akure?
No. It never happened in Lagos. It never happened in Akure.
Wow.
Here.
So it was here.
In Ekiti.
You had a lot of spiritual attacks.
I got to, when I was at Club Truth, I got to club one day. I saw a gutted goat. They used the blood to line the door.
Wow.
And I was like, what's this? I had to call all the staffs, like, everybody, come to club. Everybody came. And the goat was there. But the blood was
everywhere.
They used it to line the door, like nobody must cross it, nobody must pass.
Wow.
Like, you get that kind of demarcation, and I was like, okay, wait to come this one. You know, there was one girl, I think a select girl, part of the staffs, but like, boss, please don't go near. Let me call someone. I was like, which a call? Let somebody give me water. They gave me water. I prayed inside. I used the water to sprinkle everywhere. I carried the goat like this. I threw it over the fence. And like, boss, nothing. I better wash all these things come off for here. They washed it. We clubbed that night. There's one thing, a whole lot of the side that people don't know about me that I'm spiritual too. I pray a lot.
Yeah.
People don't know that. And me, I believe that. Say, you cannot harm me. As long as I'm not I mean, I don't come for you. Don't come for me now. You get so, and that was the belief I had that gave me that confidence to do what I did that day.
Yeah.
Because after I was looking at myself and say, "Oh boy, this guy risk it.
They'll send you. Did anything happen to you?
No,
Did
nothing.
you? Yeah.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. Then, apart from that, Club Ive, we were clubbing. Generator was working. For you to know, okay, it is not possible for a local heg to get to the top of the generator. We put on the generator. It was a working generator in the middle of the club, like say around 1:30. My maintenance guy went to the generator to check the fuel and saw local eggs on the generator. All those local, no, I'm talking about all those white small
Yeah. Yeah.
bruh. Bro, it's not funny. They came
A vibrating generator, right?
Vibrating generator. I'm telling you, man. The maintenance guy rushed back into the club to call me like, boss, come see something.
Wow.
What? I saw it. I was like, even I myself came to this generator. I was here not too long now, like 20 minutes ago. I came here now. This thing was not here.
And how did you get rid of that one?
So he was like, I was like, take it away. He said, boss, I cannot touch it. Oh. I said, get me a disposable cup. I put disposable. I used something. I don't know, maybe a stick to put it inside the disposable cup. Then we went to throw it outside. Then one of my workers was like, you shouldn't have thrown it away, boss. We should have burnt it. I said it's in a disposable cup so we can still track it. Let's go look for it where we threw it. We went to pick it. Then we poured petrol on it and burned. But, you know, there's so much one can take if you start seeing signs. I didn't mention the time I saw this Muslim stuff that they use thread to do like this.
Wow. Where did you find that?
That was when I was in excess. When I left my dad's before I came to her. I was like, okay, under the generator.
Wow.
You know, the generator kept having issues. Then one day I had a dream to move the generator from that position
spot to another.
Immediately they lifted that generator, they found that stuff there. I was like, okay. I don't want to do Ekiti nightlife anymore. And that was after that egg one. I just decided, okay, I was done with Ekiti nightlife.
Wow.
And I just told the staff, like, I'm not coming back here. I told the guy that owns that building, like, I'm not coming back here. Anybody out part of my team, if they want to keep running the place, they should keep running the place. They continued, but the place folded. Yeah. The place folded after, and that was it. So since Hive, I've not done anything clubbing
in anywhere or just Ekiti?
In Ekiti.
In Ekiti. Okay.
Then I've been taking just consultancy for like the one I did for my dad's recently.
Yeah.
Consultancy, club chess in Accra, consultancy. I've been doing I could consult.
Yeah, but not actively. Actively. So quite interesting stories, and I'd like to know, since you spent some time here in Ekiti, what would be your assessment of the entertainment industry here in Ekiti?
You mean lack of it?
The assessment of it.
Because I don't think there is an industry here. That was why I said, do you mean lack of it? There is an industry, but I don't consider it a thriving industry.
The entertainment industry.
The entertainment industry in Ekiti is not healthy. It's not thriving.
Why did you say that?
Okay, so I came from Lagos, right? But before I came here, I've gone to a whole lot of places. I've done stuff in Oyo State. I've done stuff in Ilorin. I've done stuff in Edo State. I've done stuff in Abuja. So I know when you talk about entertainment industry, I know what it's supposed to look like. And that's, yes, our entertainment industry is not, I mean, Ekiti entertainment industry would have been a thriving one if there were some kind of support.
Support from who or where?
From the government.
From the government?
But I noticed the government would never, they don't invest in entertainment here. And they fail to understand the fact that, like Lagos, the GDP they get from entertainment alone is huge.
True.
Now, in this kind of case where we don't have support from government or some big investors and stuff like that, that's when the people, the entertainers themselves are supposed to come together and do something about it. Because not everywhere can be like Lagos, not everywhere can be like Port Harcourt, where they have government support. Not everywhere can be like Delta State, where they have government support for entertainment. But in this kind of place, it's we can do it ourselves. Let's come together as one unit and make this thing work. Let's grow this industry. I remember trying some strategies some years back, you know, bringing like 200 plus entertainment together in a group, a WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Okay,
have entertainers in a group?
Yeah. Like, okay, this is the essence of this group. Nobody is helping us. But for this industry to grow, there must be love. There must be unity. Almost all of us must come together to support each other. Now, I cited an example. You, AY Nigeria, is about to have this event so tagged so. You're part of that group. That means, let's say there are 200 people in that group. That we have 199 other people who could support your event to be a success. Now imagine when all the let's even say some are not active, say 150 of them come to support you, post your flyers, invite their ballers, get behind you like, okay, this must be a big success. There's no way you will not cash out.
Absolutely.
Shut down. Right? You will do well. Then when it's your turn, everybody rallies around you to do the same thing for you. Everybody will be doing well in the industry. For Ekiti, the hate in this town, the competition here is, they say competition is healthy, but in Ekiti, the competition is not healthy at all.
From your experience?
It will kill you, bruh. It will fucking kill you. From my experience, there are people who just want to lord themselves over the others and say, yeah, now we there. If you don't go through us, this is not happening. They will discourage you from even if you make a mistake to of going to them to present a concept you have, they will discourage you. Like, how you think say this won't work? But it is not because they think it can work. It's because they cannot do it. And they don't want you to take credit. Like, I remember when I was going to do, when Prodigy was rebranded to Stallions. I don't know if you're still going to.
Yeah, we're still coming to that because it's a journey and I enjoy the flow of the conversation, right? Okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I could just touch on before you ask that question. I remember when it was going to start, I had a number of people who said, how do you want to do this?
Because I remember,
how do you want
to? When you reviewed one of your hosts, the female host.
They said I was going to waste
Nancy
money.
Nancy
Sime.
And you brought her here to Ekiti.
Yeah. They said it was too big. Like, how do I want to make my money back? But I think most of the people here are just short-sighted. Most of the entertainers. Most.
Why?
I'm responsible for what I say, not for what you understand.
That's clear, though. But why would you say that? I mean, there's a reason. There must be something.
When people are myopic, you cannot see your front. Now, where I don't even want to say too much about where Stallions is going. I want people to witness it because I can see it already. I know where it's going already. After this edition, we're doing the national edition.
Yeah.
Now, national edition, apart from the fact that I have some industry supports ready for me already, let's even leave those ones. Brands that would come into it. It's going to be the biggest awards in Nigeria. We could pin this.
No, we are here for it. We are here to witness it. Yeah.
We could pin it. It's going to be the biggest because there's no youth entrepreneurship awards in Nigeria.
Yeah. Future Africa?
Sorry?
Future Africa Awards?
When last did they do Future?
Well, Future Africa Awards, though I get what you're saying anyway. I mean, that was by why
I think Future stopped because Jude,
got out of
my guys then, right? We were in the industries together. And I think the last edition they did will be around 2010, 2011. That was a long time ago, bro. But I'm talking about right now. And theirs was even a different concept.
Yeah, it was around entrepreneurship, tech, and all of that. Yeah.
But right, Stallion stands for every youth doing well in whichever industry. That's how we cut across from media to entertainment to real estate to whatever you're doing.
But you started Stallions right here in Ekiti State. Let me put that in perspective.
Yes.
And you still think that Ekiti is a very toxic place when it comes to entertainment industry.
I wish you were around for Stallions Awards and see most of the people at the awards, most of the attendees, they were from outside.
Wow.
Most. So it was more like if those people didn't come from outside, it was almost a flop. Like, oh, we go see what you want to do now. You get? They were not ready to turn up.
Why didn't they? What do you think made them stay away from it?
There's beef in the Ekiti entertainment industry. There's hate. They don't like themselves. They do high service. Everybody just they laugh at each other. They blood inside. Tige, I'm going to say it as it is. And until that, okay, I've been in Accra for like 2 weeks now. Because the Stallions Awards, this edition is holding in Accra, so I had to do some ground. Bro, the smallest of entertainers in Accra would walk up to me and say, Egbon, what can I do to support this?
But you don't experience that. You didn't experience that while you were here.
In Ekiti. Are you kidding me? You're in this industry too, bro. Even if you don't mingle like that. But we were inside the whole cult.
Yeah.
Right? And I just feel I remember that time when I left Ondo State for Ekiti State. Ekiti was way bigger than Ondo State.
Of course.
When we were talking about entertainment, when we were talking about nightlife, anything, talk about it.
Yeah.
But now, Ekiti, they jog. Follow Ondo State. Now, Ondo State, they are big because now they run clubs almost every day.
Yeah, even lounges at every corner, everywhere.
And you will see people there.
Everywhere.
And you see people there.
Full.
They support themselves. You see all the CEOs as big as they are. As big as I'm experiencing some kind of support that I didn't get here in Accra right now.
Wow.
It wasn't a situation of, he's an outsider, let's give him support. I was there before.
Yeah.
I knew most of these guys before I left. Right? But that has always been the situation.
So you think that the Ekiti story is quite different and peculiar? The experience here is different and
We're different.
How do we, so that it doesn't appear as though we're upping so much on negative and we're not even proposing solutions? How do we change? I
already mentioned it. In a situation where we don't have the government to support us, some big investors to come put money down, say, okay, you want to do this. This is a brilliant idea. Let's fund it. That could make the industry grow. We have to do it ourselves. But that is just not happening. I still have that group I created on WhatsApp. A group of 200 and something people. I've reduced to maybe like 20 something people.
People left.
They just started leaving one by one over the years. Me, I forgot the group because we said a whole lot on the group. Like, okay, let's everybody come together. Let's support each other. Nobody would respond. Only few people would respond. And then when, okay, let's say Ayo Nigeria show is so, and we drop the flyer there. What can we do to support this person? Nobody responds. Nobody. Nobody responds. And sorry, before you ask your question, the thing is, they think, oh, I don't want this person to become big. Not knowing you are affecting yourself too. Because if all you guys come together to do this, you're getting big, he is getting big, everybody is getting big. You all want to be this in other places, in Lagos. Okay, let me cite an example. I got to Lagos because I have some movie project coming up. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but we started the short program, but that one was just to test the ground. Now we're going for the big screen. I met with some directors and producers, and I asked some questions like, okay, if I want to use somebody like Bimbo Ademoye now, how much would she charge? Somebody like Uche Montana, somebody like Timini, how much do these people charge? When they gave me figures, I was like, you go far. Then they made me understand one thing. You are just coming from the outside now to come back into this industry. They don't know you. So they'll bill you. But the moment they see, okay, you can add value too, they'll start doing things for you. Right? Because they know they will need you to.
Yeah.
So they support themselves. That's why that industry will keep growing, even if the governor or government doesn't do anything.
But that doesn't happen here.
You go, they beg people, they'll be treating you like they are doing you a favor by supporting this.
But one won't say that. We have a couple of clubs here, not to mention any names. We still, someone would say Ekiti still has a nightlife. Do you think so?
Is there nightlife in Ekiti anymore? We used to have nightlife. We used to have nightlife. But right now, nightlife is struggling, bro. Struggling. Except you want to lie about it as a club owner right now. Would you say my club or lounge is thriving the way it used to thrive? I remember when I came to Ekiti, I know how club, I know the kind of money we make in club. I know the kind of vibe we get. But right now, it's not there. Okay, so I'm also going to counter this again with another thought. There are innovations coming up within the industry here in Ekiti State. It will never have crossed my mind that we would have a club experience on a Monday night happening right here in Brilliant.
The state. We now have one where there is literally a shutdown Monday night right here in each state. And, because of previous experiences, I don't want to mention name, but I'm sure people know who I'm talking about. That also is happening
I'm going to mention name. That's FPG. That's my boy right there. Farouk is a brilliant young man. And I'm proud to say he grew under me.
How did he grow under you?
He started his hyping career with me.
Whoa. At which of the clubs?
Club Osh.
Osh.
Yes. And he was somebody who wanted to learn. He just wanted, he knew it. Because I remember the first time he walked up to me in the club and said, "Boss, I can do this." So, have you hyped before? I said, "No." So what makes you feel? I said, "I know I can." Then we gave him mic. It was, we definitely was an amateur at that point. but he never stopped trying to, okay, let me drive this crowd. Let me drive this crowd. Let me drive this crowd. Before I knew, I didn't even realize when it started improving because I just saw, okay, things were going. And some set of ballers would come and be like, please let Farouk hype. I'm like, okay. Farouk is getting there. Now, he now added branding to his brand. And that's the edge he has over almost every other person.
Branding.
Right? You know how to hype. You know how to package yourself. That was what Farouk did. So right now, he is a brand to reckon with when it comes to Ekiti entertainment.
And even outside, I see boat cruise. Some of these things happening in Lagos. All white party, boat cruise, all the big ballers is also there. You know, big shout out to him.
Yeah. So when he started FPG, I remember like, even me, I was like, Monday, you make it. See, this thing feel work like this. But I'm never the person who will tell you it can never work. Don't do it. I could think it, but I would encourage you. I'd be like, you can do it. It's a unique something. Nobody's done this before. I know people don't have where to go on Mondays. So let's try it now. I remember the first event, the first FPG. People didn't really turn up like that. The second one, then the third one, you could see the growth.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it became a force to reckon with.
So you would say that Farouk is one out of the many that
he is to be respected. He is to be respected. He's doing something nobody did. Even I, that they called Big Black Hope. I didn't do Monday event. So is to be respected. I give him his flowers. And the fact that he's able to maintain he kept it going till now. It's, I think, 3+ years now. Yeah. It is not easy.
Okay, so yet again, now it looks like we're talking about something like in the industry. I know you did business. I patronized you right here before you left back for Lagos. What happened to that business? There was a business that you handled right here.
You mean the studio?
It wasn't the studio. After the studio, there was, or apart from the studio, there was a business.
Business.
No, not that one. One where there was laundry, lounge,
Let's not go there.
Okay. Well, this is the podcast where it is said the way it is, but of course, it's okay that sometimes our guests don't want to say certain things and we don't force them, right? I'm so grateful that today some would watch this episode and open their mouth and wonder if it was you or someone else, because you carry so much generational history of the entertainment industry. And as much as time couldn't even allow us go deep, I'm happy that you were able to share some of these experiences. And thank you so much for your time on the One Nigeria podcast. And by the way, let me give him his flowers before he leaves. This is the first time I started podcast a studio, ideal podcast. When I saw his podcast studio, I was like, whoa. Yeah, this guy spent money. He goes big, by the way, does things big. So I'm not surprised, and I can't wait for the next. That one, I'm going to drive all the way. I'm going to be a part of it, And so I want to thank you for that.
You're a presenter, and you're still.
Oh yeah, you let that.
You're still going to do some things that I've not communicated to you.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you for letting the cat out of the bag. We will definitely discuss that. And of course, this man single-handedly revitalized and spotlighted the nightlife here in Ado-Ekiti, Ekiti State. I dare say those who will know him from way back Club Osh days will know this man. Discovered a lot of talents, even the DJs. I think you worked with Trugsy. right?
I brought trucks to Ekiti.
Say that again.
I brought trucks to
Yeah. So, and by the way,
I brought
big shout out
Baptunes to Ekiti.
Baptunes, right? And big shout out to Trucks. I'm so excited because that guy, every single time I see him in this, he gives me joy that we've got that quality of DJ, and I know him from club. So I suspected that you most likely brought him or you guys worked together. So I'm super excited. Lagos, I mean, so much good things that you've done, and we are grateful, right? We're hopeful that some of these issues and concerns you have about the industry in the state gets better. Right, we will continue to do our part, get dragged, sacrifice. We don't mind. It can happen again. We don't mind, but we will all ultimately have to get better. We shape in or we shape out because the new generation is here. We have to learn to support ourselves, project ourselves. We are not doing a service by consistently trying to keep ourselves here and not growing. Please, that concern. And thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
I remember how I was a guest on your podcast. And now you're a guest on my podcast. Yeah. So one good turn deserves another. Yeah. Always do good. Always. The table can turn anytime. Thank you so much, Prodigy, for coming. And of course, I'm very sure that you enjoyed every bit of the conversation. Please drop your comments and continue to engage, subscribe, like, and share this. Till the next time, all the best.